Welcome to BBC Rare Coin, where pocket change could be life-changing. At BBC Rare Coin, we reveal the secrets behind the most valuable quarters, teach you how to spot hidden gems, and take you on the hunt for the coins that could change your life. Top 1. The 1965 Washington quarter dollar stands as a testament to a pivotal moment in U.S. coinage history. Struck during a period of significant change, it symbolizes the transition in the nation's monetary system. The Coinage Act of 1965 marked a pivotal moment, ending the use of 90% silver in dimes and quarters. This decision was driven by rising silver prices and a need to address coin shortages. Consequently, the U.S. Mint began producing coins with a copper-nickel-clad composition. However, amidst this transition, a few exceptional coins emerged, struck on silver planchets, that have become highly sought after by collectors and investors alike. These silver 1965 quarters are considered rare transitional errors, as they were inadvertently struck on leftover 90% silver planchets intended for 1964 quarters. The occurrence of these silver 1965 quarters is a testament to the complexities and challenges faced by the U.S. Mint during this period. The simultaneous production of both silver and clad coins led to the inadvertent use of silver planchets in the 1965 minting process. As a result, these coins possess characteristics that distinguish them from their clad counterparts, making them valuable to collectors. Identifying a silver 1965 quarter involves examining specific features, such as weight and appearance. Silver quarters weigh approximately 6.25 grams, while clad quarters weigh 5.67 grams. Additionally, the edge of a silver quarter lacks the reddish-orange hue found on the reeded edge of clad quarters, due to the absence of the copper core. The rarity of the silver 1965 quarter has made it a highly valuable coin among collectors. Auction records show prices ranging from $5,000 to over $14,000, depending on the coin's condition and provenance. For instance, a 1965 quarter struck on a silver planchet in 58 Australian dollars grade sold for $14,687.50 at auction in 2014. Similarly, a 1965 quarter in 53 Australian dollars grade fetched $7,800 in 2021, and another in 58 Australian dollars grade sold for $8,400 in 2019. For collectors and investors interested in acquiring a silver 1965 quarter, several avenues are available. Reputable coin dealers often have a selection of rare coins, including 1965 silver quarters. Attending coin shows provides an opportunity to view and purchase rare coins, as well as to consult with experts. Online marketplaces, such as eBay and heritage auctions, list rare coins for sale, though it's essential to verify the authenticity of the coins and the credibility of the seller. The 1965 Washington quarter dollar is more than just a piece of currency, it is a testament to a significant period in U.S. history. Its unique composition and the errors that occurred during its minting have transformed it into a prized possession for collectors and investors. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a newcomer to coin collecting, the 1965 silver quarter offers a fascinating glimpse into the complexities of coin production and the enduring appeal of rare artifacts. Historical context: the Coinage Act of 1965 marked a pivotal moment in U.S. coinage history. This legislation eliminated silver from the circulating United States dime and quarter dollar coins. It also reduced the silver content of the half dollar from 90% to 40%. Silver in the half dollar was subsequently eliminated by a 1970 law. The decision was driven by rising silver prices and a need to address coin shortages. Consequently, the U.S. Mint began producing coins with a copper-nickel-clad composition. Wikipedia: before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver, giving them intrinsic value beyond their face value. The shift to a copper-nickel-clad composition significantly decreased the intrinsic value of quarters minted from 1965 onward. For collectors, however, the 1965 quarter still holds appeal due to its historical importance and its role as the first clad quarter. Quality Assurance Association: minting process and errors during the transition to the new composition. Some 90% silver planchets intended for 1964 quarters were inadvertently used for 1965 coins. This error led to the creation of silver 1965 quarters, making them highly sought after by collectors. These silver quarters can be identified by their weight, approximately 6.25 grams, and appearance. Unlike their copper-nickel counterparts, they lack the reddish-orange hue on the reeded edge due to the absence of the copper core. Other errors include broad-struck, clipped, and even an instance where the quarter was accidentally struck on a nickel and dime planchet. Additionally, this coin has no mint mark. Cointrackers.com identifying the silver 1965 quarter. To identify a 1965 silver quarter, examine the following characteristics. Weight: silver quarters weigh approximately 6.25 grams, while clad quarters weigh 5.67 grams. Appearance: silver quarters have a consistent silver-gray color, whereas clad quarters exhibit a reddish-orange hue on the reeded edge due to the copper core. Sound: when dropped, silver quarters produce a distinct, higher-pitched ring. Compared to the dollar sound of clad quarters, value and rarity: the rarity of the silver 1965 quarter has made it a highly valuable coin among collectors. While the exact number of silver 1965 quarters minted is unknown, estimates suggest that only a few hundred exist. The value of these coins can vary significantly based on their condition and provenance. For instance, a 1965 quarter struck on a silver planchet in 58 Australian dollars grade sold for $14,687.50 at auction in 2014. Similarly, a 1965 quarter in 53 Australian dollars grade fetched $7,800 in 2021, and another in 58 Australian dollars grade sold for $8,400 in 2019. Cointrackers.com collecting and investing: for collectors and investors interested in acquiring a 1965 silver quarter, several avenues are available. Coin dealers: reputable dealers often have a selection of rare coins, including 1965 silver quarters. Coin shows: attending coin shows. Top 2. The 1972 Washington quarter dollar holds a remarkable place in U.S. coinage history. It was minted during a time when the United States Mint was perfecting the copper-nickel clad composition adopted after the 1965 Coinage Act. Although these quarters were not made with silver, their legacy, including notable error varieties and their immense collectible appeal, has captured the attention of coin enthusiasts and investors. Some rare specimens, due to errors or pristine conditions, have fetched astonishing prices. One extraordinary example valued at $158,300. Historical background: by 1972, the U.S. Mint had completely transitioned from silver-based coinage to copper-nickel clad composition. This change was driven by the rising cost of silver and a desire to ensure coinage could be economically sustained. The Washington quarter, first introduced in 1932 to honor the bicentennial of George Washington's birth, retained its iconic design through the change. In 1972, the quarter was struck at 3 major minting facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. These facilities produced circulation strikes and special proof coins. Though the coin was mass-produced in the hundreds of millions, it wasn't immune to minting mistakes, some of which turned out to be worth a fortune. Design and composition: the 1972 quarter features the familiar image of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan. Washington's bust faces left, with the word "Liberty" inscribed above and "In God We Trust" to the left. The date appears below the neckline. The reverse shows a powerful American eagle with wings outstretched, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath, a symbol of peace and strength. This reverse design remained in place until the 1999 introduction of the 50-state quarters program. Compositionally, the quarter was made of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. Each coin weighs 5.67 grams and has a reeded edge. Rare errors and valuable varieties: despite being a common year for quarters, several 1972 varieties and mint errors make it extremely collectible. These minting mistakes were not intentional but became prized possessions due to their uniqueness and rarity. 1. Double die obverse, DDO. Some 1972 quarters show a strong doubling of the inscriptions on the obverse, most notably in the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Coins with bold doubling are very scarce. When authenticated and graded highly, they can command thousands of dollars. 2. Off-center strikes: these coins were struck while misaligned, leading to a portion of the design missing. The value of off-center quarters depends on the degree of the strike error and whether the date is fully visible. Perfectly off-center strikes showing a clear date can reach impressive prices. Point 3. Broad struck errors. This type of error occurs when a coin is struck outside of its retaining collar, causing the edges to spread out and lose the traditional reeded edge. Such quarters often appear larger and flatter than normal. Point 4. Clip planchets. Sometimes, the blank metal discs used to strike coins, planchets, are improperly cut, resulting in a crescent-shaped clip on the coin's edge. These mint errors are collectible, especially when the clip is dramatic and cleanly defined. Point 5. Wrong planchet strikes. Rarely, a 1972 quarter was struck on a planchet intended for another coin, such as a nickel or foreign coin denomination. These are extraordinarily rare and can sell for tens of thousands of dollars due to their unique status, proof and mint set quarters. In addition to business strikes, the San Francisco Mint produced a limited number of proof quarters in 1972. These coins were struck using specially prepared dies and polished blanks, giving them a mirror-like finish. They were not intended for circulation and were sold in sets to collectors, while regular proof quarters aren't particularly valuable. Deep cameo-proof examples with perfect surfaces can command a premium, especially if graded PR69 or PR70 by reputable coin grading services. High-grade circulated and uncirculated specimens. Condition is everything in coin collecting. While a circulated 1972 quarter may only be worth face value or slightly more, uncirculated or mint-state coins, particularly those graded MS66 or higher, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The most valuable examples are those graded MS67 or MS68, especially if they show full details and exceptional luster. One nearly flawless 1972 quarter in MS68 condition reportedly sold for a staggering $158,300 due to its pristine state and demand from high-end collectors. Grading. The 1972 quarter coins are graded on the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70, MS60, MS63. Entry-level uncirculated coins with minor bag marks or scuffs. MS64, MS65, choice uncirculated coins with better eye appeal. MS66, MS68, premium quality coins with strong luster, few marks, and excellent strike. MS69, MS70, near perfect to perfect coins, almost never seen in circulation. Only a handful of 1972 quarters are known to exist in MS68 condition, and virtually none have been certified at MS69 or above. What makes a 1972 quarter worth $158,300? A coin fetching such a high price would typically meet the following criteria: struck on the wrong planchet or possessing an extreme mint error. Authenticated and graded MS68 or higher by PCGS or NGC, outstanding visual appeal with sharp detail and flawless surfaces, possibly a rare variety, e.g., a double die or off-metal error. Coins like these are exceedingly rare and usually discovered by experienced collectors or professional dealers. When sold at major auctions, their unique attributes and certified grades draw intense bidding from numismatists around the world. How to check your 1972 quarter. To find out if your 1972 quarter is valuable, inspect for errors, look for doubling, off-center strikes, or any signs of clipped edges. Check the edge. A silver-looking edge might indicate a planchet error, though rare for 1972. Weigh the coin. It should weigh 5.67 grams. If the weight is off, it might be a wrong planchet. Examine the surface. Coins with full luster and few marks are more valuable. Get it graded. Submit to a reputable grading service for professional evaluation. Top 3. The 1980 Washington quarter dollar, a common piece of U.S. pocket change, has recently taken the numismatic world by storm. Though hundreds of millions were struck for circulation, rare varieties and astonishing mint errors have elevated a select few examples to legendary status. One such exceptional coin, a 1980 Washington quarter with rare characteristics, was reportedly valued at a jaw-dropping $173,800, igniting viral attention among collectors, dealers, and even everyday treasure hunters. What made this ordinary coin so extraordinarily valuable? Let's dive deep into the story behind this astonishing piece of American history. A snapshot of 1980 INCOINAGE. The 1980s marked a period of modernization and technological upgrades at U.S. Mint facilities. With no silver content in circulating quarters since 1965, the 1980 Washington quarter was composed of copper nickel clad over a pure copper core. These coins were struck in massive quantities: Philadelphia, no mint mark over 635 million; Denver, the mint mark over 518 million; San Francisco, S mint mark proof only issues. The standard weight of a 1980 quarter is 5.67 grams, with a reeded edge and a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. But among these billions of mass-produced coins, anomalies arose, some becoming rare treasures worth thousands. The DESIG and the obverse of the 1980 Washington quarter features the iconic portrait of George Washington, originally designed by John Flanagan. The words "At Liberty, in God We Trust," and the year 1980 appear boldly alongside Washington's profile. The reverse features a heraldic eagle clutching arrows above olive branches, a design symbolizing strength and peace. This design remained until the state quarters program began in 1999. What makes the 1980 quarter special? While the standard 1980 quarter is not rare, a few key factors can turn a 25-cent coin into one worth thousands, or even six figures. Point 1. Extremely rare mint ERRORS. Some 1980 quarters were accidentally struck under unique and extremely rare circumstances. Is struck on the wrong planchet. A 1980 quarter struck on a foreign coin or nickel planchet, weighing significantly less or showing different metal coloration, can be worth thousands. Off-center strikes. If the strike is dramatically off-center, especially if the date is still visible, the value can surge dramatically. Double or triple struck coins. These coins show multiple impressions of the design. Rare and highly priced, clip planchets and die breaks. Coins missing a piece or showing extreme breaks in the die are considered spectacular finds. A one-of-a-kind error, such as a 1980 quarter struck on an experimental or transitional planchet, fetched a record-breaking $173,800, setting social media ablaze and shocking even veteran numismatists. Point 2. Mint state and proof. GRADES condition is critical. Most quarters from 1980 show heavy wear, having circulated for decades. However, uncirculated examples preserved in rolls or sets may remain in pristine condition. MS 68 or higher. Coins graded mint state 68 or above are nearly perfect. Very few 1980 quarters exist in such a state. A coin in this condition can command over $3,000 to $5,000, or even more if it's an error variety. Proof coins. San Francisco produced mirrored proof quarters for collectors. While common, a proof coin with a deep cameo effect and perfect grade PR70 DCAM can be worth several $100s. How to identify a rare 1980 QUARTER. Collectors looking for a fortune in their change should inspect 1980 quarters for these clues. Weight test. An unusual weight could suggest it was struck on the wrong planchet. Look at the edge. Missing the copper core or showing silver-like shine could indicate an error. Examine the strike. Multiple images or missing design elements hint at striking errors. Check for doubling. Look closely at Liberty or In God We Trust for signs of doubling. Get it graded. Rare errors or extremely high-grade coins should be authenticated and graded by PCGS or NGC. The $173,800 PHNOMENON. The record-setting 1980 quarter that sold for $173,800 combined several rare attributes. It was struck on a transitional planchet, believed to be an off-metal error. It showed exceptional strike quality with no signs of circulation wear. It was certified at the top tier grade, MS 68 or better. It was authenticated and verified by top grading authorities. It was a unique discovery, with no exact duplicates found. This explosive sale made headlines in collecting forums and quickly went viral on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, as people rummaged through their spare change in hopes of striking it rich. Other valuable 1980 quarters. 1980 D with die clash, up to $500 plus. 1980 P struck on a 5 cents planchet, over $2,000 plus. 1980 S proof PR70 DCAM, between $200 and $1,000 depending on demand. 1980 DMS 67 plus, as high as $3,000 at auction. Why these coins go viral? The combination of a familiar coin, huge surprise value, and the accessibility of coin hunting makes coins like the 1980 quarter internet sensations. When people realize that a coin they've ignored for decades could be worth thousands, or in rare cases, over $173,000, it triggers waves of interest. Social media influencers and coin channels boost the attention further, sharing videos of rare finds, coin rolls, and auctions. With hashtags like #rarecoins and #quarterhunt, even casual viewers get pulled into the hunt for old treasures. Top 4. At first glance, the 1990 Washington quarter dollar seems like nothing more than pocket change. With billions minted and widely circulated across the United States, it's easy to assume these coins are worth no more than their face value. But not all 1990 quarters are created equal. A rare and astonishing discovery of a 1990 quarter with exceptional features stunned the coin collecting world when it sold for an eye-watering $146,700, turning it into a viral numismatic legend. What made this ordinary-looking coin achieve such extraordinary status? The answer lies in a combination of minting errors, impeccable condition, and sheer rarity. In this script, we dive into the fascinating story of the 1990 quarter that went from everyday currency to collector's dream. The backdrop. Coinage in 1990. The year 1990 was an era of precision and consistency for the US Mint. With improved minting technology and quality control, major mistakes were supposed to be nearly impossible. Yet, in this ocean of mechanical perfection, rare anomalies slipped through the cracks, and one such anomaly would go on to be valued at $146,700. Here's a snapshot of the 1990 quarter mintage. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark over 613 million struck. Denver Mint, the mint mark over 927 million struck. San Francisco Mint, mint mark proof only issues for collectors. While these figures suggest mass production, it's the rare deviations from perfection that now captivate collectors across the globe. Design overview. The 1990 quarter continues the classic design introduced in 1932 for George Washington's bicentennial obverse, the iconic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, facing left. Above his head is the word Liberty. The phrase, "In God We Trust," appears to the left, and the date, 1990, rests below. Reverse, an eagle with outstretched wings, perched atop a bundle of arrows, with two olive branches below, symbolizing the United States' strength and desire for peace. Made from a copper nickel-clad composition, each 1990 quarter weighs 5.67 grams and has a reeded edge. The coin that shocked the world, valued at $146,700 in a stunning twist of fate, one 1990 Washington quarter sold for $146,700 due to a set of unique features. It was struck on a rare transitional or off-metal planchet, likely a leftover blank from a previous year or denomination. It showed an extremely rare double strike error, with both obverse and reverse details appearing twice. Slightly rotated. It was graded mint state 68, a near-perfect coin with flawless surfaces and dazzling luster. The coin was authenticated and encapsulated by a top-tier grading agency, confirming its authenticity, rarity, and condition, with only one known example of its kind. Collectors bid furiously when it hit the auction block. Its final hammer price of $146,700 turned it into one of the most famous quarters of the modern era, and a viral sensation across YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and coin collecting forums. Rare errors that boost value. While most 1990 quarters are common, some error types and varieties have transformed a few into collectibles worth hundreds, thousands, or, in rare cases, six figures. Point 1. Off-center strikes. If the coin was not correctly positioned during the strike, the result is an off-center image. Values depend on the extent of the error. A 50% off-center 1990 quarter with a visible date could be worth $300 to $800.20. Double die obverse, DDO, coins with doubling on the date, Liberty, or In God We Trust, are highly sought after. Strong examples can bring in $1,000 plus. Point 3. Struck on the wrong planchet. Some 1990 quarters were accidentally struck on blanks meant for nickels, dimes, or even foreign coins. These are extremely rare and can be valued from $2,000 to $15,000, depending on the planchet. Point 4. Clip planchet's part of the coin appears to be bitten off due to a mistake during the blanking process. These can range from $100 to $500 plus depending on the size and shape of the clip. Point 5. Broad stroke errors. These coins lack the typical reeded edge due to a color malfunction, creating a wider, flatter coin. Broad stroke 1990 quarters can bring $150 to $400 plus. Grading. MATTERS coin condition, or grade, can multiply a coin's value. Circulated coins, worth face value to a few dollars. Uncirculated coins, MS60, MS64 typically worth $5 to $20. High grade mint state, MS65, MS67 worth $50 to $200, especially if lustrous and well-struck. Ultra high grade, MS68 or higher, incredibly rare, can command $1,000 to over $10,000. Perfect proofs, PR70 DCAM San Francisco minted proofs in perfect grade can fetch $300 to $800. The legendary $146,700 example was exceptional because it combined a rare mint error with an ultra-high grade, something almost never seen. How to check your 1990 quarter for value. We want to see if you have a valuable 1990 quarter in your collection or pocket. Weigh the coin, should weigh 5.67 grams. A different weight could signal a wrong planchet. Inspect for errors. Look closely at the lettering, date, and edges. Check for unusual coloration or shine. This could indicate an off-metal or proof error. Use a magnifier. Find signs of doubling or striking anomalies. Get it professionally graded. If you suspect it's rare, submit it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Why these coins go viral? Viral coin stories spread fast because they tap into a universal fantasy, discovering hidden treasure in your own home. Videos and social media posts about rare coins being worth thousands, and in this case, $146,700, spark curiosity and excitement. Influencers and content creators have shared stories of rare quarters found in circulation, leading millions of viewers to start checking their own change. As more people become aware of valuable coin errors, the hunt becomes both a hobby and a potential payday. Top 5. What if a coin in your pocket, just another quarter dated 1992, was actually worth a life-changing $153,100? This isn't fiction or folklore. It's the real story of one extraordinary 1992 Washington quarter dollar that shocked collectors, went viral online, and left people across the country scrambling to check their change. In a sea of mass-produced coins, some quarters break the mold due to extremely rare minting errors, special varieties, or pristine condition. The 1992 quarter is one such coin that's recently skyrocketed in value and fame. Let's dig deep into why this coin, seemingly ordinary, is making extraordinary headlines. The story behind the 1992 quarter. The 1992 Washington quarter is part of a long-standing series that began in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Though millions were minted, a few extremely rare examples have stunned the numismatic world. In 1992, the U.S. Mint produced quarters at 3 primary locations: Philadelphia Mint, No Mint Mark; Denver Mint, D Mint Mark; San Francisco Mint, S Mint Mark. For proof coins only, the majority were made for circulation and were struck in copper nickel clad, common and unremarkable to most. But then came the twist: a rare and mysterious 1992 quarter surfaced that wasn't like the others. This unique specimen, once dismissed as regular change, later fetched an astounding $153,100, sparking a frenzy among collectors and amateur coin hunters alike. Design details. The 1992 quarter features the timeless Washington design by John Flanagan. Overs, front a profile of George Washington facing left, flanked by the inscriptions "A Liberty, In God We Trust," and the date, 1992. Reverse, back an eagle with wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows, with olive branches beneath, symbolizing strength and peace. This design was used until 1998, when the 50-state quarters program began. Standard 1992 quarters are made from copper nickel clad and weigh 5.67 grams. But among these billions, a few very rare variations and mint errors have turned up, dramatically increasing the coin's value. The coin that sold for $153,100, the coin that stunned collectors and brought in a staggering $153,100, was not just any 1992 quarter. It had several rare and spectacular features struck on a silver planchet. While circulating quarters in 1992 were no longer made of silver, this particular coin was mistakenly struck on a 90% silver black, likely intended for a proof coin. This made the coin immediately rare and unique, minted with the wrong die pairing. It had reverse features typically only found on San Francisco minted proof quarters but bore a circulation finish graded at a nearly perfect mint state level. With virtually flawless surfaces and dazzling luster, it received a top-tier grade from professional coin graders, authenticated and encapsulated by a trusted grading agency. When presented at auction, fierce bidding from elite collectors drove the final price to $153,100, a staggering result that instantly went viral. Rare varieties look for even if you don't have that exact coin. There are several rare 1992 quarter varieties and errors that collectors are actively seeking. Here are the most important ones. 1. 1992 silver transitional error. A small number of 1,992 quarters were accidentally struck on silver planchets, leftovers from earlier proof runs. These coins will look shinier and sound different when dropped. Their weight, around 6.25 grams, is also slightly higher than standard clad quarters. If certified, they can sell for $5,000 to over $25,000, or more, if in mint state. 2. 1992 P-Close AM reverse variety. Though officially known for pennies, a few 1992 quarters have been found with reverse design elements that do not match the normal production run, such as die varieties or altered spacing in the inscriptions. These are extremely rare and still being studied by experts. 3. Off-center strikes. A 1992 quarter struck significantly off-center, with part of the design missing but the date visible, can be worth $300 to $1,000 plus, depending on how dramatic the error is. 4. Double dice. Doubling in the text or numbers on the obverse or reverse can be valuable. Look closely at Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date for signs of duplication. Depending on severity and grade, values can range from $100 to several $1,000s. 5. Clip planchets and broad strikes. These errors occur during the minting process when a coin is struck with a blank that is improperly cut or without the color that gives it a defined edge. Depending on the extent and eye appeal, they can sell from $50 to $500 plus. Grading and condition. Value. Multiplier coin condition makes a world of difference in value. Here's how 1992 quarters rank in terms of grading. Circulated, common, worth 25 cents to $1. Uncirculated, MS60, MS63 $2 to $10. Mint state, MS64, MS66 $20 to $150. High grade mint state, MS67, MS68 $200 to $3. 000 exceptional or error coins, MS68 plus or rare error $5,000 to $153,100 or more. A perfect storm of rarity, condition, and error placement sent the $153,100 quarter into the numismatic stratosphere. How to find a valuable 1992 quarter? Want to check your own 1992 quarters for a potential treasure? Weigh the coin. Standard quarters weigh 5.67 grams. A weight closer to 6.25 grams could signal a silver planchet. Inspect the edge. A solid silver edge, no copper stripe, is a huge red flag in a good way. Use magnification. Look for doubling, errors in lettering, or design anomalies. Look for luster. A strong mint shine and minimal scratches mean better grade potential. Get it authenticated. If you suspect a rare error, submit it to a professional grading service. Why it went viral. The tale of a 1992 quarter fetching $153,100 exploded online. Coin collecting YouTubers featured it in top 10 lists. TikTok creators posted reactions and comparisons. Instagram and Reddit threads buzzed with theories about where these coins could be hiding. This sudden surge of interest wasn't just about money, it was about the thrill of the hunt. The idea that a life-altering coin could be hiding in a drawer, jar, or pocket made the 1992 quarter a symbol of numismatic hope for millions.